So I think the real danger, and our videos are obviously for men, the real danger is not that are you infatuated with a woman you shouldn't be. Like that's not too much of an issue, right? You have to manage that and you'll learn from that yourself. But if a woman is infatuated with you, that is the problem. Gentlemen, welcome back to another video. My name is Stryker.
My name is Luba.
Now we are the co-founders of Heart Rocket, an international matchmaking agency where we help men from the West meet women from Eastern Europe.
That's right.
Now, today we want to talk to you about a topic that is commonly referred to as infatuation. And the dangers of it when doing this type of matchmaking stuff. Now, I saw a video the other day it was actually from another company, matchmaking company, and there was a guy in that video and he was talking about a lady that he'd met through the company, but they hadn't met in person yet. And he was talking about how she loves him so much and that she would do anything for him, and they were discussing this on this video with the other company, right? And the other company was saying, oh, you know, you got a good one, you got a real good one there. But the problem is that what they failed to realize is that what's happening is that him and her, these two people that have never met, they have an infatuation with each other, even though they haven't met yet, right? And the dangers that they're going to have here is that when they do meet, either one of them, let's break it down so that she has a massive infatuation with him. Let's not even talk about them. Let's just say if a woman has a massive infatuation with you, right? Maybe you've met in real person, maybe you met at a bar, it doesn't matter where you met. But for some reason this woman met you and all of a sudden became completely obsessed with you. She couldn't stop thinking about you because she thinks that you are the greatest man that has ever existed. So what happens is that she has put him on this ridiculously high pedestal based on very limited knowledge of the person, right? And so what happens over time, the more time they spend together, she will eventually realize that, hang on a second, this man, he's just a normal man. He farts, you know. He doesn't know how to change a tire in a car perhaps, or he doesn't know how to do some of the things because she really thinks that this is like the ultimate man. He knows everything. He's strong, he's powerful, he's masculine. So she really believes those things. And then over time, the more they get to know each other, she slowly realizes that he's a normal man. And that doesn't say that, I'm not saying that she realizes he's a bad man. She realizes that he's just a normal man. And so what happens in her own mind is that she feels like that she was misled or she was deceived somehow, even though she can't consciously comprehend what's actually going on, and say to herself that, I was infatuated with him and now he's back down to the level where most men are. I just need to accept that. That's not what's going to happen. And the same thing will happen with you as well. Like if you were infatuated with a woman, you will eventually realize that this is just a normal woman.
But the actual thing that I see, like from the man, it's like when they do this letter writing, or this is the worst, or they just like falling in love with the profile. That is like literally what's happening. They have this like such a level of this desire, of this passion, of this like imagination. They're like, spank bank is going over and above. But this is bad. Like this is really affecting so badly. Like it gives you such a high emotion at the beginning and it drop you like so badly.
Yeah, I mean, we all want that idealistic partner. That she's perfect, that she doesn't, in every way, physically, mentally, emotionally, she supports you, she's the perfect woman. And as soon as you meet someone, you may think that she is that person, and we've heard this before where like the guy is like, he'll say something like, I just think she's perfect because, she just has such a kind heart. And we're like, well, hang on, we don't really know that yet, right? We're just getting to know each other, so you'll start to find, the dynamic between the two of you. Then you'll start to realize what it is, right? But if in the example of a woman infatuated with a man, she will at some point realize that, hang on, he's just kind of normal. And it will probably be it may be a gradual scale, or maybe she'll just at some point in time go, hang on a second, hang on, this is who he is. And there's nothing wrong with who he is. It's just that she was so hoping and she was so dreaming of this other man that she feels like she's been lied to. She felt like she was tricked, right?
Most of the time we're falling in love with just our imagination. Like we envision another person like much better than this person actually is. That's why when people start dating, like they always have this like, even like if they meet each other and they start dating, they always have this like super high emotions. They have such a good relationship. And then like further on, like when this like blur a little bit, like this fog a little bit settled, you realize that, wait a second, like this person is just normal. Here is the trick how to continue maintain this relationship, to like, even though if you're a normal man, if there's nothing extraordinary about you, what to do with that? Like what
well, I think that the infatuation quite often comes from a place of inexperience. You know, you haven't had much experience with women, so you haven't gone through that process of going, you know, understanding what a real human being is like to be in a relationship with. And that may be the case with the example that I'm saying before, but they'll find that out kind of the hard way. I think that men deal with it better. I think that a man can put a woman on a pedestal and she can come down a little bit, as long as she still looks beautiful, you know, and she doesn't turn into a complete asshole and a complete narcissistic that's just going to, you know, ruin his life.
The guy is easier to overcome?
Yeah, it's easier for him to overcome. But when it's a woman, I think it's much harder. So I think the real danger, and our videos are obviously for men, the real danger is not that are you infatuated with a woman you shouldn't be. Like that's not too much of an issue, right? You have to manage that and you'll learn from that yourself. But if a woman is infatuated with you, that is the problem. Because all that's going to happen at the start, you can go, yeah, wow, she's infatuated with me. She'll do anything for me. I've done stuff in the bedroom with her I've never done before, right? But then over time, she will start to realize that, hang on, you're a normal man, she'll feel let down. And if a woman is that infatuated with a man that she doesn't know, there could be some underlying problems there as well. There could be maybe some daddy issues. Who possibly knows? That she sees you as a potential father figure or something like that, and she's idolizing you, right? So we're only making this video because we've seen it a few times. That just triggered in my mind the other day when I saw that. And I just thought I want to make a video about it. So if any guy ever says to us, oh, she's completely just in love with me, infatuated with me, and she hasn't met me, for us, it's a huge red flag. And we will be talking to that guy and saying, look, this is what's going on here, okay? Be very, very careful about what's happening, okay? Don't do anything here that's, you're going to regret, okay? So that would be our advice to our clients. So I want to explain that to you guys out there. If a woman is completely infatuated with you, I'm not saying run. I'm saying just be prepared.
Down a little bit.
Just be prepared for, maybe some rocky roads in the future.
But everything is possible, and I believe that people, if you're just aware of that, like the most important is to be aware of something. And so if you're aware of that, you just need to be able to deal with that and just
the problem is like it's very difficult for a woman to overcome disappointment in a man.
No, this is the worst. Like for me,
it's very difficult.
Me, when you get disappointed in a relationship, like it's the only thing. Like for me personally, when you get disappointed, it's the spot of no return. Like you can't return.
We always recommend that you should be your authentic, genuine self. There's no point in pretending because again, you're going to let her down, and if you let her down, it's so difficult. It's incredibly difficult to come back from it. You're better to be yourself and then excel every now and then. And then she sees, oh, actually, he's actually like this. I saw a short the other day on YouTube, and it was the Tate brothers, not Andrew Tate, but the other brother, Tristan Tate. And he was talking about being a nice guy. And what he was saying is that there's two ways to do this. One way is that you're a bit of an asshole all of the time, or you're a nice guy all of the time. And the nice guy all of the time, when he's with a woman, he's a nice guy all the time, she thinks he's great, then one time he does something that he's an asshole. He yells at someone, he just becomes a bit of an asshole, whatever. She automatically thinks, I thought he was such a nice guy, but he's actually deep down an asshole. On the flip side, if you're a bit of an asshole all the time, I'm not saying you have to be a complete asshole, but if you're like a bit of an asshole, a bit of a bad boy, and she knows that about you, but then you show a soft, caring side where you reveal that you help homeless cats or something like that, she goes from the other side, which is, he's a really, bad boy, a bit of an asshole, but he's actually really nice and kind inside. That's way more powerful than the other way around.
Yeah.
So starting up on the high, trying to get her infatuated with you, trying to talk shit about your life, whatever it is, it's always going to end badly, right? So that's why you have to be your own authentic, genuine self. If who you are is not desirable by women, then that's your problem, and it's something you have to change, right? That's our thoughts.
Just don't be too much of an asshole.
Or like me. Oh, here we go.